Yes, y'all. The God is back. I smoked early today, so we're going to double dose. So I might be a little bit slow tonight. Okay, hopefully this mic is on. We're going to try to keep a show real tight tonight. Oh, but of course, we have to get our heads ready for the knowledge we're about to drop. Now, tonight's show may only be 30 minutes, but I'm trying to stay on schedule, trying to be a better person. Hey, look, for all my Facebook folks, I'm gonna start promoting the link more to YouTube because I want to switch more over to YouTube. I need to get to 100 people real fast, so I'm gonna start a little drive once I have all my branding and everything there. Get y'all to what's this alert here? Do you want to try? Okay, whatever. Fuck. To get y'all to look at these nugs. Look at these nugs. Beautiful. To sign to what do you call it? Not is it follow or subscribe? Everybody has all these stalker terms. Follow. Subscribe. Actually, subscribe is pretty normal, but whatever. Subscribe over there. I hit my 100, and then I can get a custom URL instead of just those random characters. I think it's easy to remember. So I'll be youtube.com/isaiditfirst. I got my Stream Deck stuff over here, and I have another Stream Deck over here. My camera stuff will be here tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to have a nice depth of field. The green screen is going to look real professional. I don't know. I think some stuff comes Thursday, so maybe by next week we'll have a whole new look and feel. I'm going to have lots of stuff exploding, lots of cool graphics. Let me finish grinding this up. I want to get this smoking. How was y'all day today? Everybody good? Everybody nice and cool? Well, I've had a shitty day, actually, because the Lakers fucking suck without LeBron. That, to me, that's more. Here's a hot take, because I haven't heard I haven't heard Stephen A. I haven't heard Max Kellerman. I haven't even heard my man Shannon Sharp say this. Look. The Lakers stink without. They were fine without AD, and everybody keeps saying what their record was without AD. Bullshit. 4 of those games they didn't have AD or Schroeder. With Schroeder and without AD, they won a bunch of fucking games. Right? So without 2 of his top 3 guys, yeah, it was kind of a struggle for LeBron. But now, without LeBron, you can see the value. These motherfuckers can't score. They can't score without LeBron. He is the maestro. Okay, look at that. Nice. I really would like my connoisseurs out there to give me some tips for what y'all do with y'all keef. Because I feel like I'm wasting the best part. I'm not maximizing my keef. I feel like I'm not efficient, I know you don't associate efficiency with weed heads, but maybe you should. Speaking of which, we have a lot of cannabis conversations and topics on tonight's show. So without further ado, I got a bag coming. I got a bag coming. I'm off the Fruity Pebbles again. I'm actually not even going to do a punch bar tonight because them Jones had me kirking. I be kirk like shit. Okay, so the agenda for tonight, let me read it real quick so I can stay on point. We're going to talk about white people are the problem, not Asian hate, and how in the fuck did we start talking about black people and Asians? How did we get involved in this shit? Number 2. Another shooting rampage, not the Asian one in Atlanta, but another one in Colorado. Didn't all this shit start in Colorado? Like, is there a prize they're trying to win? Here in New Jersey, lots of weed news. We got the home grow debate, and we got the Empire Strikes Back. A new bill proposed by these motherfuckers, some Republicans, the Empire Strikes Back. Fuck all your woke shit and all the social justice. They're trying to make sure cops are not held liable when they fucking with you, right? We'll talk about that. How smoking weed can help your relationship. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And can Mexicans, a.k.a. Latinos... Oh, man, where's my laughter one at? Hold on. I think I have a laugh one here. I don't fucking know what you... That's the one. Mexicans, a.k.a. Latinos. Can they say nigga? All right. I have some interesting takes, as per usual. Let's get some theme music going. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Now, what was the first thing on my list? All right, let's talk about, hold on. Yeah, the Asian hate shit. So let's go to screen share. So first, I'm going to listen to this young Asian lady talk. Hear from her first. I'm going to do like white people do. Every time I want to hear a black person say some shit, as again, they want a black person to be the person that says the most anti-black shit. But she's not really anti-Asian, but she makes some good points. Listen to her speak. Hold on. Un momento. Let's go.
I'm done with you Asians who think having a race war with the black community is in our favor. No, it fucking is not. And y'all always want to bring up black people attacking Asians during the post-COVID era, which has happened a few times, but guess what, bitch? There are gonna be bad people in every race. Remember, anti-Asian is always rooted in white supremacy, but a person of any race can be influenced by white supremacy. So those black people that attacked us were subscribing to the white supremacist narrative that Asians caused COVID. And if you blame black people as a whole for the anti-Asian hate crimes, you're subscribing to the white supremacist narrative that black people are inherently aggressive. And y'all Asians who are like, why aren't black people standing with us? Bitch, be grateful because they've always stood with us. Yep. Frederick Douglass in 1882 made the time to openly denounce the Chinese Exclusion Act while the black community was going through so much, such as rampant lynchings against them. They worked hand in hand with us to free the Japanese people in the internment camps in 1942. Yep. And we directly benefited from black-led civil rights movements every single time. So stop blaming and demanding things from them and unlearn your anti-blackness first.
Woo! Fire, as the young people say. So, here's my thing. I know I've been hard on the young woke people because they're fucking annoying, but kudos to wokeness. Fuck, man. That's not the one I wanted. Kudos to wokeness. I mean, speaking of which, that's something I wanted to read to y'all tonight. I know it's vapid corporate bullshit. Here it goes. But it matters. And just like this young lady having a perspective that is more higher level, dude, what the fuck you doing? I'm doing my show, man. Go. Jesus Christ. Are you going upstairs? I'll bring you. You can come get water after the show. Huh? God damn it. You see what I'm saying? I wait till midnight to do the show. Fucking midnight. Why aren't you asleep? You know what I'm saying? What kind of bullshit is this? I need another bag. Weed parents, where are we at? We're gonna be talking about weed tonight. So she's woke, and her wokeness led us to her ability to see things the way they are. So wokeness ain't a bad thing if it actually leads to better outcomes. I had another point to make with that. I forgot. Now, this next guy who I can't fucking stand. Listen how I want you to watch how their narrative changes. Now, remember what happened in Atlanta. A white man who claims to have sexual addiction, but, could be a, white nationalist or whatever. He looks the part, right? Let me see if this thing works. Oh, yeah. I'm having like bugs right now. Everything's like flipping out. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Almost lost a bag. So a white dude, sorry about that. The fucking top came off, was blowing all the weed everywhere. Can't do that. I think 2 bags will do it. So a white dude shoots some Asians. And then the conversation shifts to the riots of 92, where black people and Asian people were added over, frankly, racist Asian shit. Right? And why are we now pressuring black people to support Asians? Were there pressure for Asians to support black people? What is this fucking connection we got going on? I didn't know that existed. I grew up in the hood of California. All right? All the liquor stores were owned by Koreans. And not one of them motherfuckers wanted, they wanted the money. Obviously, they opened the stores, but they didn't want you in the store. Somebody didn't want you to stand outside and just throw money at them and thank them for being there, right? So where was this chatter? Again, I don't know if you see this take when you read your articles and you hear about where, we need to stand with, we need to stop AAI, where the fuck it is. It's like another LGBTQ thing. AAPI. What's up with these fucking long ass acronyms that don't rhyme and you expect us to memorize them, right? NAACP, that shit like flows. It's got nouns and verbs like as they should be. USA, whatever fuck. AAAPI, LGBTQ plus I. It's retarded. Anyway, I digress. Where was the pressure for Asian people as a community to specifically speak out the dozens of times over the last few years when black folks was getting their ass killed? Huh? Think about it. So why do we have to specifically be called out as either people in the public eye or just as black people as a community? Why are we like, we're the blacks standing behind the Asians? Why the fuck are we special as it relates to Asians? Do we own racism or victimhood? Is that where you need your black friend to come step up, show where we stand? So listen to this guy, Zed Jelani. Now, watch the sleight of hand. Now, remember, the crime that was committed that has us all talking about Asian hate was a white man, right, who shot a bunch of Asian people. That has shit to do with black people. Now listen to this fucking dickwad speak. Hold on, here we go. Let me go back to screen share. I need to get this stream deck shit working, but whatever, fuck. This is Zed Jelani. He's a cunt. He's one of these crypto fascists, pretends to be not a right winger. He's just, calls balls and strikes, man of the people, who's often a guest on The Hill or Rising on The Hill's channel. Notice how fucking filthy his room is. So, you shouldn't be casting judgment on anybody. Clean up, nigga.
And, they're declaring it as possibly a racist motive. I think that it's possible that they're not all explicitly hate crimes, but Asians are seen as easy targets because of stereotypes about being, meek or reticent or foreign or not having, immigration status. Also, Asians are sometimes seen as well-to-do. So I think this is one reason that a lot of common criminals may target them. In terms of what happened in Atlanta, it does seem like it may be a hate crime, but maybe not a racially motivated hate crime, right? Georgia's new hate crime law also applies to gender-based violence, and it seems, at least from the few initial stories we have on this, that perhaps the person was motivated by some perverse sexual beliefs, or he was deeply reactionary, religious, that sort of thing. So I think we have to look at these crimes on a case-by-case basis. But I think certainly one thing that's true is that it's not true that there's a white supremacist-led there's not a white supremacist wave of terrorism or hate crimes or anything like that. In many of these cases, the criminals in question are not even white to begin with, let alone white supremacists.
Listen to that. The criminals in question are not even white, let alone white supremacists. Yeah, it was for the incident in hand. So it's a straw man. But let them finish another minute or so.
I think a lot of this really is just that we saw a huge surge in violent crime in the cities over the past year. And Asian Americans have, for a number of reasons, been the targets of that. Partly because I think they're seen as easy targets, and partly because they're seen as a little bit more well-to-do. And I think on average in these cities, most of these Asian American populations, for instance, the Chinatown in San Francisco and Oakland, they're not actually that well off, but they may be slightly more well off than your average criminal, right? So you kind of see that dynamic where, there was a lot of good research showing that, Asian Americans tended, after 1965 immigration reforms, 1966, 1965, there were a lot of Asian Americans who moved into cities and started businesses, right? And I think that a lot of people who lived in those cities saw it as a driver of gentrification.
Okay, so listen to what he's saying between the lines there. So he used some terms a couple of times: average criminal, common criminal, and then he brought up gentrification as a driving force for crimes against Asians. Right? None of that has shit to do with Atlanta. Okay, Atlanta was a white dude who says he's a pervert who wanted to kill his perversion, or he's a racist. Either pervert or a racist. It has shit to do with economics. He could have been rich or poor. We haven't even talked about his financial situation because he's white. Okay? So a white man kills 8 Asian people, and now Zed Jelani, the brilliant genius, wants to talk about common criminals in areas that are being gentrified by Asians, and therefore resentment is the fuel for violence against Asians. You see the bait and switch? Black people don't have shit to do with this. We don't have shit to do with supporting the cause. We don't have shit to do with the crime. The problem is white people. Do you understand? It's always y'all. White person does thing, everybody else has to change or answer for it. It's not Asian hate. It's crazy white. There's no blacks and Mexicans running around here jumping on Asians, right? If we do, it's because it's proximal. The crime had to occur because you was the man I had to rob or whatever. It's not no racial shit. It's not like, hey, let's go get Asians. Ain't no nigga ever thought about getting no Asians. Okay? There's one thing. Hold on, where'd it go? I wanted to read this. All right. I bought this new Apple Watch. I bought the red, black, and green joint, right? And I get it. I know this is just marketing. I know this doesn't mean anything. And I know that first clip I played, the young Asian lady, she's probably a super woke young college student, and I probably would be annoyed as fuck if I ever had a conversation with her. But I appreciate the unlearning that wokeness provides us. And also, I'm starting to have a different take on wokeness because of who hates wokeness. All right, people like Bill Maher, Fox News, right? Who you're allied with and who you're enemies with is the quickest shortcut for you to know if you're on the right team or not. I know I don't fuck with Bill Maher or Fox News, any other right winger, reactionary bullshit, Israel supporting motherfucker. Okay? So when they're railing and hand wringing over wokeness and political correctness, maybe I should embrace it. Okay, because that young lady spoke truth. Now let me read it. This is from Apple. I know Apple doesn't really give a fuck about black people or anything like that, but just listen to this. This exclusive collection is inspired by the Pan-African flag, red for the blood that unites people of the African diaspora and was shed for their liberation, black for the people whose existence is affirmed by the flag, and green for the vibrant natural wealth of Africa, the motherland. That shit is like fucking Asada wrote it, or goddamn Dr. Ben. I mean, that shit is just dope as fuck. And it's on a product that's mainstream, popular, and little white kids are going to get this shit and see this. Most black people don't know about the Pan-African flag. But yet now it's commercially viable. What's that thing called? The whatever window? The operable window? That window is just like at its all-time revolutionary high. Sadly, and perversely really, black people are at their all-time low, so we really can't appreciate it. But I, as a black man in America who used to just starve for anything in the media or whatever that reflected me and my people, I love this. I love the movies that are out. Judas and the Black Messiah, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Charm City. We got great black movies. It's not even like good for black, like the best movies of the year. Best series last year, The Watchmen. It's HBO. This is big time. So kudos to you woke motherfuckers. Next topic. Look at that. I'm flowing. I'm like staying on schedule and shit, just going through it. All right. How smoking weed can help relationships. Oh, wait, no. Oh, that's right. We're talking about the shooting. Okay. Let me get to that video or whatever. All right, here we go. Boom. Boom. You can do it. All right. So, sadly, there is a fucking shooting in Colorado. Something about Colorado and Florida. Y'all niggas is in a race. Can you please just stop it? Like y'all trying to win a prize. It's just like, I don't know. It's either the altitude in Colorado or it's the humidity in Florida. But y'all motherfuckers is crazy. Texas, too. I'm sure they had some. I don't even think about it. I know, like, hey, did I just invent something? Oh, no, because they had that shooting in one cold place. Well, Colorado's cold, too. So it's got to be dry, arid climates. I don't know. I bet there might be a connection with climate and shoot. You had the Nevada one, the joint in Orlando, something in Texas. I know you had a couple in Florida, and you had Denver. Has there been a shooting like in Pennsylvania or somewhere mid-Atlantic? I don't think so. Oh no, we had a sniper, DC sniper, but he was black. That don't count. All right, so here's what's going to happen. Now that we have another shooting, well, I digress, but his name sounds Muslim, so there's going to be that conversation. Oh, the war on terror, terror. Now, mind you, dead bodies are dead bodies. It doesn't matter if a Muslim kills him, a white man, black man, doesn't matter, right? But I guarantee you, if it is terrorism, when I say terror, it's all terrorism, but if it's a Muslim and it's perceived to be as connected as some sort of international jihadi ideology, guaranteed you're going to see some action. That war machine got to get cranked back up. Contracts got to get paid for. Okay? It's going to happen real fast. Now, if it's not terrorist associated, whatever, just, crazy dude, whatever, it goes two ways. The whole debate's going to center around gun control. Or the flip side of that is gun paranoia. and I'm going to show you another article from, I forget who the congresswoman is, but Democrats / progressives, this is what you should not do, which is start talking about gun control the moment there's another shooting. Why? Because you have to understand who your market is. The people who are for gun control are already voting Democrat. And the people who absolutely refuse to vote Democrat are mostly there because of guns. If you can just take the issue off the table, so it's essentially you have no choice when it comes to guns, because really, in effect, we don't. Give up the issue. The next time this guy got the gun less than a week ago. All right. Before they send that fundraising email out, which I'm about to show you next, pointing at you trying to take their guns, kick back, throw your feet on the desk, and be like, I don't know, maybe we need more guns. Right? Use their language against them. Say, look, guns don't kill people, people do. Right? Don't start saying right all the fucking time. Let it go. Because the both parties, but I think more so the Republicans, they don't really know. It's like people at the red light that don't even know when to go unless the other car moves first. I think the Republican Party now, post-Trump's wrecking ball, really don't even have their bearings as to what they believe in. They only know by opposition. So if there's a shooting and Democrats don't say shit about guns, they don't know what the fuck to do. Because they're only counterpunching at this point. They're not starting anything new. Okay? Now, to those who are probably more inclined to agree with typically progressive left, on the issue of guns, I'm sorry. I just don't agree with you. It doesn't matter if you bought the gun 6 days ago or 60 days ago. Do you know what I'm saying? If the gun caused the person to turn into a murderer, then this country couldn't exist. There's probably more guns in America than there are people. And I know they're concentrated amongst a subset of the population, but I bet 50%. We're not talking about 5% of the people own 400 million guns. No. I haven't looked at any data because I'm lazy, but I bet 50+% of Americans own guns. You can't win that issue. The definition of insanity, or the alleged definition, or I think Einstein coined this or whatever, is to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. There's nothing that's happened that is going to sway the public to change in any major way when it comes to guns. Obviously, mass murdering doesn't do it either, at least not in America. We've had a few dozen of these now since Columbine. It seems like it's like you get more tornadoes, you get more shootings now, sadly. And how much gun regulation has been written into law as a result? As far as I know, fucking none. Not even those little annoying kids that were going on speaking tours telling people what to do. All right? Like, I know you lost your classmates and shit, but they were just fucking annoying. So like the young girl, the environmentalist, she was annoying too. And I agree with her. But I don't like fucking kids being all smart and having opinions. Shut the fuck up and go do your homework. Now, the flip side of that, and here we go. This bitch, Lauren Bobbitt, she's a congresswoman from, I fucking have no idea where, sends out a fundraising letter moments after the shooting. I think that's kind of gauche, but that's what it is. But you can't capitalize off people's fears of that's something to be fear of. That's why I go back to the progressives, the left, the Democrats. Just leave the issue alone. All right, you can't win it, so why even bother trying to fight it? Now, here's another one. This is not on the agenda, so this is a little bonus feature. Where am I supposed to? Abortion once again a hot topic at State House budget debate. So essentially, down in South Carolina, a new bill is proposed that will essentially, it would ban the state healthcare provider from covering abortion with no exceptions. So just like I want my folks and friends on the left to give up on guns, I want my folks and friends on the right, I know it's the opposite for you guys, give up abortion. Just give it up. If we can just look, if you could take guns and abortion off the table, you might have a country. Like those two issues, guns, abortion, are the two most passionate issues for the left and the right. Just have a treaty and say, look, we can't solve this, so we're gonna give you abortion, we're gonna give you guns. It's a draw, right? Everybody go into their respective corners and let's fight about things that matter, like healthcare. I wanted an explosion, but I think I just stumbled upon some genius. Maybe I will run on that platform when I announce my bid for president. Okay? You get guns, you get abortion, game over. Could you imagine that? What would people argue about? Because that's the subtext of everything, right? And race. But I don't know how we can win that one. That's the one we have to fight over. But I feel like, the right folks will have, once we give up guns, we're going to gain so many folks that vote Republican who would otherwise, there's a lot of those black hunters and shit like that too. The few who vote Republicans, probably over guns. It'll be an insurmountable lead for the left. Now, hopefully that left won't be the Democrats. I want to take over and destroy that with the American Farmers Party. All right. You can help me do that out there in listening land. But yeah, if we can just agree, y'all stop talking about abortion. We'll stop talking about guns. And it's a deal. All right. So now on to the next topic. How smoking weed can help relationships. So this article is actually from a while ago. But how can cannabis improve your relationship? And they go into a bunch of different shit, which I'm not going to read now because this weed is kicking in. But what I will say is that the God would never be in no living situation with no woman and she don't smoke weed. What I found is chicks that smoke weed are just chiller. Okay, when you smoke weed, it makes you lazy. And you can't understand how lazy you are when smoking weed unless you also smoke weed. So if you got a cool out broad and y'all chilling in the crib and y'all smoking together and the trash gotta be taken out, and you be like, man, I don't know if I take it out because I'm high. She'll be like, okay, because I'm high too. You can't be chill with somebody who's all hype. And people who don't smoke weed thinks it's drugs. Like, bitch, it ain't drugs, it's weed. And people who don't smoke weed say shit like, oh, do you smoke every day? Bitch, did I ask you what you do every day? don't control me. I pay my bills on time. Okay, weed helps me accomplish that. And then think about what for our smokers out there. What does weed open up for you? All kind of shit you wouldn't watch on TV otherwise. Okay? Now if I'm all tight, just had coffee and no weed all day, and I got some live in, and she wanna watch anything like what do women always watch? They watch murder shows and the real something or something. It's one of them type, or something about hoarders or some 90 Day, all that weird shit on Bravo and TLC, just the asshole of America, just here for your public display. All that shit. You can get through it high, and then she can get through the game high. But if y'all not high, y'all gonna be in separate rooms, not touching each other. And that's the other thing. When you high, your skin is real tingly, and you want it touched, and you want to touch. So you're gonna touch each other more when you high. Now I didn't read this little bullshit article, but I like the title, and sometimes that's all you need. Oh yeah. So we got another issue here. Boom. Now watch this. So New Jersey, we have two things going on. On the one hand, we have a push to allow home grow. Good thing. And on the other hand, there's a push to allow cops to keep getting away with harassing niggas. Bad thing. Now, as some of you may know, I am, in the cannabis industry, so to speak, here in New Jersey, or, soon to be, inshallah, if things go as they should. So it's an interesting topic, to home grow or to not to home grow. Now, from a business standpoint, I think that legal cannabis companies would necessarily find home grow as a threat. I just don't feel that way, and I feel like it's like coffee. I got a fancy little coffee machine over there, and I'm just more into coffee. So I drink more coffee now because I'm like a connoisseur of coffee now. And I think if you start to farm, you'll love the plant more. You'll get into cultivation. You're going to go to the dispensaries, talk to the bud tenders, and maybe meet some of the cultivars, and just get more immersed in it. And you're going to buy more. And even if you don't, that's okay too. I think that it's bad mojo, karma, whatever you want to call it, for this industry, number one, to still allow for anybody to be in jail for cannabis-related crimes, let alone create new wars on drugs, right? Because right now, let me read you this one part of the article here. I didn't even realize this, but currently, if you get caught with 5 plants or less, that means then you're growing 5 plants. So if you're a new grower, that's 10 ounces, right? You're not even looking at a pea. You're probably getting two ounces of plant. You could get less than that if you really know what the fuck you're doing, and it's probably going to hit like some stress, okay? Where you get your genetics from. But anyway, I digress. Currently, growing 5 plants or less can result in 3 to 5 years in prison plus a $25,000 fine. Okay? That always tripped me out too. Sorry to digress, but when they see you in prison and a fine, like how the fuck you supposed to pay that fine? Like usually people go to prison don't have big bank. And you just saddle them niggas with debt. But that's why. Anywho, wow, 3 to 5 for growing 5 plants. That's a lot of time to grow. And why? Here's the thing, even without marijuana being legal, I still don't think home grow or growing cannabis in your house should be a crime, even if the actual plant was illegal for sale or consumption. Right? Because it's your house, you grow what the fuck you want to grow. You can grow cannabis and throw it in the trash. You can do it because maybe you're a fucking botany major or whatever the majors are. People are into plants. I don't know, biochemical engineering or some shit, or environmental sciences. I don't know. You growing marijuana because you studying the plant, or you're gonna put it in a petri dish and do some experimentation in your fucking basement. That's not illegal. So if you already have laws in place that cover the sale and the trafficking of the product, then why do you have to have a law about the creation of the product in someone's home? Just do what you do when you do your police work. Catch motherfuckers selling weed or smoking weed or whatever, if that's your druthers. And especially now that the market is legal, how, like, under what unifying logic are they being arrested? Like, what is the infraction upon the society? Okay, so let's say, what's legal in society? Bananas. Bananas are legal. And you grow a fucking banana. And they say you're going to jail for fucking 5 years. Do you know how absurd that would be? The product is a vegetable that's grown like any other vegetable. It's a plant. It's a flower. It grows like any other flower. Not like any other. Needs extra love. But so what does that mean when you arrest somebody from home? So really, it can only mean that the state is acting in this aggressive, harsh manner on behalf of certain businesses. Like, it can't be that it harms the greater society. It's only that the state is acting in collusion with business. That's fascism. So that's why I'm against it, because I'm against fascism. All right, we're gonna finish this. So that is homegrow, but peep game though. So while we're debating homegrow, we're also debating another new bill from these cunts. So let me read this to you. All right, so there's a new bill that would basically protect cops from getting criminal charges for harassing and detaining young people. Okay? So this is Republicans. So this is the Empire Striking Back now. All right? That an officer can be found guilty of deprivation of civil rights for the interaction with those under 21. Oh no, they would introduce a bill that would raise the bar. Right? So a law signed last month, right? That was the bill to legalize marijuana. It's part of that package of 3 bills. Make officers susceptible to third-degree charge if they detain any young person for too long or illegally search them for weed and alcohol. Okay? Sounds reasonable. Just don't fucking harass people. It's basically like your job is to enforce the law. The laws change. If you're doing something or investigating a thing that is legal, then you're breaking the law. And therefore, you're punished. Makes perfect sense to me. All right, so the Oskanan and Buko bill, whatever how you pronounce his name, would make officers only liable for the criminal charge if the officer acted to intimidate or discriminate against a person based on race, religion, gender, ethnicity, or sexual orientation. Now, I'm going to read some more, but I want to come back here and let y'all see my pretty face. Either these politicians are people of color and they hate white people and they want the officers to only do bad things to white kids. Probably not. Or this is a bait and switch. They're making it look like, oh, we're really going to look out for, you know, the people of color and those protected groups because, you know, we don't want to just make this a blanket thing and unfairly persecute and prosecute police officers, right? But here's the problem. You can never prove that standard. You can never, it's so hard. I would guarantee almost there's never been a case where a New Jersey officer has been convicted under that threshold, meaning that they violated somebody's civil rights knowingly. in specifically, how does it say it again? If the officer acted to intimidate or discriminate against a person based on race, religion, gender, ethnicity, or sexual orientation. How do you prove that? The only way to prove that is this officer pulls out his baton and right before he hits you says, "Die, nigga!" And it's on film by more than one camera. Then maybe you got a shot. Otherwise, it's a moot point. So it's like, it's same thing with universal basic income. It's like, well, let's means test it. Well, then the means testing becomes a point of calibration where the powers that be can move the levers up and down to, siphon off the funds, right? So same thing here. Where's the threshold for it being a racistly motivated act? I'm gonna read you one more part. Let me find this. Go back here to screen share. Yoink. Here we go. Now this guy, the benevolent police motherfuckers are the worst. This language is anti-police rhetoric at its worst, and its consequences will be real. So said Dickhead Police Benevolent Association statement passed when the bill passed last month. Underage users of marijuana will be free to smoke it anywhere. Oh my God, free to smoke it anywhere, including in places the bill says is illegal, because merely stopping a person to enforce the law is now illegal for police. Bullshit, it says for too long. Okay? This bill permanently ties an officer's hands. Fucking great. Defund the fucking police. This is why. As a collective group of people, police are some of the fucking dumbest people on earth. I'm talking about, you can talk, I don't know, trash men, janitors, maids. Think of whatever job you want. Police are some of the fucking stupidest people on earth. As a collective. You listen to them talk. Matter of fact, watch the movie Idiocracy. Okay? And just notice how the police talk. It is fucking, I think they made the whole movie just to slip in that joke or that observation of our society. And they always use big words like individual, this individual. But they're morons. They're just monkeys that just repeat things. Okay? Let me drop a bomb on that one. Oh. No, fuck all that. So I'm going to go, I'm actually, damn, I almost did an hour already. Fucking A. So, here's my thing. And this is for last thing on this topic here. For you dumb motherfuckers, and I love y'all, because most of y'all are my people, but y'all some dumb motherfuckers, but I love y'all, okay, who don't vote. Or matter of fact, not voting is not the problem, because not voting is a vote. And sometimes I not vote. And I don't even hear my lip or mouth when I don't vote, because I not vote strategically, because not voting is speech. I won't let you dipshits figure that out. It is a conscious act. But what I do have a problem with was motherfuckers say, I don't get into politics. Well, you are into politics, because politics is into you. And if you don't get into politics, it's going to get into you with no Vaseline. So in New Jersey right now, case in point, they put out what do you call that shit? A ballot referendum. It got passed by, I think, the highest majority ever in the state's history. And I haven't researched that, but it's pretty fucking high, like 70-30. That doesn't happen anywhere in America for any issue when you ask all the people. But it got landslide approval. Okay, it's a wrap. The people have spoken. Within that, the law gets socialized through the legislature, and part of that negotiation with the representative democracy we have in place was to put restrictions on the cops' interactions with people, in this case, particularly underage people, as it relates to the hint of marijuana. That's a good thing. But now, kind of sneaking in now. All the energy and the enthusiasm and the jubilation has subsided. Let's sneak this in right here. Right, this is where the deals are being done. Okay, and that's why we have to remain politically active. I'm going to think about doing some sort of consensus building or activism to marshal the people, right? To let's stand against this fucking bill, right? Politicians have to be responsive to us if we vote. And especially the local level, you don't need a lot of people because most people don't vote in local elections. You can run your own candidate. You can take this issue. Weed is a very passionate issue. Take that issue and take over. Take their seat. Now, final, last random thought. Yeah. I gotta cue this up here. All right. I'm back. Need more explosions. Can Mexicans, and when I say Mexicans, I mean Latinos. Oh. It's over here. Can Latinos say the word nigga? Now, let's listen to this interesting little debate. It's a couple minutes. Let's check this out. It's on World Star.
People using the N-word, to me, that's a big no-no. That's a big no-no. I'm gonna tell you why. When people come to you and ask you what's your background, what do you tell them?
I agree with that. That was my thing before when I was younger. When you asked, no Dominican or Puerto Rican was jacking the African American community. I agree with her. That's my experience.
Yo, Flip. All right.
Wait, hold on. Let me land. So when people ask you what you are, you don't say black. You say Latin. You say Spanish. You say Latinx or whatever the term is. Listen, you can't opt in and out of blackness, baby. You either black or you ain't. All the time. All the time. You got to be black all the time. You can't be black some of the time. You feel me?
I learned something different recently, but go ahead. I learned something different.
I don't care. This is not about descendant. This is not about your African descendants. I don't care about your black grandma.
Let him answer it. Let him answer it. To you, it's not, but to me, it is.
Now, what she's saying is right because we grew up where we grew up in. Hispanic people, not Spaniards, not Spain, Puerto Rican and Dominican, in the hood will not jack anything that has to do with black. That's what I remember as a kid. Then I got older. I still didn't like them saying the word on my show. Then I was broken. I broke things down. They said, well, Flip, this is where this come from. I said, okay, I get it. I understand. But I understand where she's coming from as well because I experienced the same thing. But I understand. I learned different. Maybe she doesn't care about that.
So if you only want to claim blackness when you want to argue about using the word nigga, that shit doesn't work.
Okay. Some interesting points there. And I like her. It was kind of dope. I like her take on that. Here's my thing. I agree with her in the sense that, like with certain Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, and it's mainly just those two in the States. But there's other ones like, I don't know, fucking Bayesian, but I don't fucking know. They'll be black when it's convenient and Latin when it's convenient. So you kind of got to pick a side. But on the other hand, The actual word itself, I don't care about because I'm not a nigga. I call little white girls niggas. I say nigga all the time, but I don't feel connected to the word in any special way. You're not gonna trigger me unless I choose to be triggered. You can call me Bob and get stolen the jaw because it's the intention that matters. People say nigga as a term of endearment a lot of times, but that don't mean that you can use it with me without my permission. I'm not saying white people or Spanish people, whoever, can walk around calling everybody niggas. Hell, you can't. I don't even call black people niggas that I don't fuck with like that. I don't go up to work, meet the new VP, be like, hey, what's up, nigga? There's a time and place for all language. So, but particularly as it relates to Latin people, I feel like even if they don't, but I guess where the difference is, I think with whites and Latins, as I relate to it, because I think the words you use and where those guardrails are also kind of correlate 1-to-1 or map 1-to-1 with dating and mating and how you feel about those issues. So for me, like if my kids dated outside of the race when they got older, if that was with Latinos, I wouldn't have a problem with it. If it was with white people, I would. And with Asians, it depends on the Asian. Talking about Vietnamese and Filipinos, okay. Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, because of the culture. Not that I have a problem with. Oh, she go. Hold on. She was also Arabs to say the word. Mason, can you please type in and clarify which word you're speaking of? Which word would that be? No, I'm playing. But see, now I think that particularly for younger Arabs who came up, let's say under 30, so they were 9 or so around September 11th, they probably had an experience as far as being ostracized in society that is parallel to that of black folks. And I think if you use the word and you identify with the culture, just like your way, your swag and stuff like that, then it's one thing. I'm cool with that. But if you use the word and you switch up, then that's a different thing. But honestly, I hear, I remember Cypress Hill. They said nigga all the time, and black people was bumping that shit. And I still love Cypress Hill. Right, exactly. It's a term of endearment. That's my point. So it depends on who's saying it and who's receiving the message. But as a general rule, like especially like you in the New York area, Puerto Rican, Dominican, black, they all go like this. And I feel like when Puerto Ricans, Dominicans are using the word nigga, they're using it because it's in the environment they're from, not because they're like in a Spanish only gang and they're anti-black, whatever. They call each other niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's not like looking for black people to call niggas. They call themselves niggas. So I don't have a problem with it. I remember using this, who? J-Lo? I remember J-Lo. Is that J-Lo? Use it. Can somebody please decipher this comment? I remember I-Lo using it in the song, and she got canceled for a minute. Who the fuck is I-Lo? I'm showing my age. I don't know who any of these young people are. I-Lo. So yeah, I-Lo. Oh, J-Lo. J-Lo. Okay. See, I wouldn't have a problem. J-Lo done banged so many black dudes. You know she was getting ran through back in the days. She's an honorary black. Her butt's big. She likes niggas. Yeah, autocorrect will do it. So I think it's seeking out issues when they don't need to be sought. We have enough to go on in this world. With that, I got a full hour in. That is 6 days in a row because I don't do Fridays anymore. I go Monday. I did Monday through Thursday last week. I've done Monday and Tuesday this week. 2 more days. I get a prize. Thank y'all for coming out. We'll have new hot button, hot take issues tomorrow. Come back to I Said It First.